Excuse me, it's all about brum, 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 rev up your vibes and come. It's how we do the job and how it gets done. Brum, 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 brum.
Yo, back once again with So You Got Bars. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, the Teesprings link is down below. Welcome to the new setup, people. The chair is here for some much needed back support. The 28-inch monitor is in front of me. I believe I've got everything set up how it should be. There may still be a few teething problems, so forgive me if stuff does mess up. This one is one that I've been meaning to react to for about a month. Someone asked me to do this long before the little break that I've had, so we're going to get into it now. It kind of relates, well, it does heavily relate with what's going on and the Black Lives Matter movement and whatnot. I will try. Well, it's me. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Let's do it, people. We're back.
I can't really do shit because they got me handcuffed.
It's okay, Mommy.
I can't believe they just did this. I'm fucking fine. Ah!
It's okay, I'm right here with you.
The fact that her little daughter's there with her. Surely, when that kind of stuff happens, they should call other appropriate adults or whatnot and not let family see. You know what I mean? And then you've got the rebel flag here, which I know has been brought up recently as I believe it's been banned. It does have history going back to the slave trade. I know a lot of southern people will think of it differently because it's always been in their life, but it does have history. But my only concern is, are we now trying to erase history, to forget about it? You know what I mean? I'm totally against slavery. I'm totally against the systematic racism that is going on. But by erasing history, are you not just trying to put it to the back of mind and forget about it? Shouldn't we educate the children and people on what did happen and tell them how not to do it in the future? That's my only problem. But let's get back into the rest of it.
Now, what we've been doing is looking at the data, and we know that police somehow manage to de-escalate, disarm, and not kill white people every day. So what's going to happen is we are going to have equal rights and justice in our own country, or we will restructure their function and ours.
Let's take a moment to stand and observe the hell we live in. No matter how hot a fire, it never melt the system. Some could help but didn't.
Let's stand and observe the hell we live in. No matter how hot the fire, we'll never burn the system we live in. And the system, regardless of whatever stance you've took during the movement since George Floyd's murder, whether you stand with the Black Right movement or you're one of the All Lives Matter movement, the system is corrupt. The system does cater for the rich white elite. And it is these people running the system. You can't deny that. You do your research on conspiracies or whatever you want to call it, you will come back to white, rich, elite bankers, families that run the system. So that's what he's talking about when it comes to the system.
No matter how hot a fire, it never melt the system. Some could help but didn't. We fill up the jails and prisons. You don't believe that's a business, only yourself you're kidding. But now they're killing our people, it's all on television. Them cops went home to their people, turn on the television. I tell my son, careful what you learn on television. He 15, he don't know what I mean. Don't know about yet, doubt and suspect. Outset to controlled outlets from those who don't want to let us out yet. Land of the free, the home of the brave. Nah, can't let us be, we've grown from slaves. It's there if you want to read, I mean it's all on the page. Say it's police, I just know.
Watching this, it is disturbing. But like I've said, it is history. It did happen. We can't forget that it did happen. By trying to erase it, I believe it ain't happening. It ain't helping. People need to be educated. Whites, blacks, any culture, it all needs to be brought up in politics, in news, in history, in school. Teach it. Because only by learning your history and knowing where you came from, you can move forward. You know what I mean? It is that simple. Well, it ain't that simple, but I mean, knowledge is power, people. Knowledge is power. Learn how not to make them mistakes again.
Controlled outlets from those who don't want to let us out yet. Land of the free, the home of the brave. Nah, can't let us be, we've grown from slaves. It's there if you want to read, I mean it's all on the page. Say it's police, I just know when it's race, and that's thrown in our face. Maybe I'm lost, signs are vital to me. Sandra Bland didn't come off as suicidal to me. Y'all play around thinking we on safe ground. They killed Tamir Rice and his rights right on that playground. Eric was selling cigarettes, I can't breathe. It was said the bigger threat he was.
I remember that one. The poor guy was just selling cigarettes. And pretty much like George Floyd, they asphyxiated him until he couldn't breathe. And another life passed. You know what I mean? I'm probably going to get a few people that don't follow me anymore and don't subscribe because I've chose to bring this up. But for those people that do leave, then that's entirely up to you. It is something that's happening in society at the moment, and it does need to be addressed. You know what I mean? Black lives do matter. And I will go ahead and say that all lives do matter, but at the moment, this is a topic that's been brought up because of yet another black man losing his life at the end of the day. No matter what his background, I have heard things where he had a bad background, this, that and the other. It doesn't matter what his background is. No one deserves to die broadcast live on Facebook with a knee on their neck at the hand of a corrupt system. Let's get into the rest of this anyway.
Was a nigga, I bet. But listen, last year I went to church with my mother Faye. We sat behind Miss Gardner and it was Mother's Day. She sat strong inside, I cried for her. My eyes sunk in the water as I was hugging his daughter. Philando Castile told him he had a weapons permit. Was murdered moments after without a complexion permit. That's bloodshed with his daughter in the car. I'm only upset for our sons and daughters tomorrow. Question, how many cities we gotta march through? Signs we gotta hold up, or are they trying to provoke us? Cause when them nines load up and land.
You see that? They're sat there peacefully. and the coppers just pepper spraying. What laws are there? This is what bugged me. What laws are there to stop police believing they have such power? At the end of the day, they're human. That's all they are. They've got a badge on and a suit. What gives them the right to take another life? Surely they should have laws that are put in place so they can't do this kind of thing.
Cause when them nines load up and landmines blow up and the crime don't slow up, they'll chime in and say they told us. Or is it only a crime when done by us? Fool for thought, my mind will run off of cold cuts. Raw and evident, Alton was off heaven sent. Recorded negligence, they just ignore the evidence. And make it seem as if we in your way. Maybe the government is governed by the NRA. That will make a disease capital and need a capital. They even legalize weed for the capital. But be black, selling the street, they get mad at you, casually clap at you. It's Uncle Sam saying taxes due. Our epidemic systemic, Black Panther fist at the Olympics, they just condemn it, hold up. Said the Klan marched in Piedmont.
Fucking hell. It's awkward to watch. You know what I mean? As a white man growing up in the world today, I have seen systematic racism. As you all well know, I have black relatives in my family and that. I have 2 black stepsisters and my nephew and whatnot. But to see it there in front of you, it's not nice to watch, is it? And that's why this movement's being pushed at the moment. This was done in 2016 as well. So it just goes to show that within 3 years since this, nothing's changed. Nothing at all.
Even worse, they were protected by police arms. And Baton Rouge is pictures of them in riot gear. It tells me they know it's plenty reason to riot there. Yet we just keep on praying while still feeling it. Racism still alive, now they not concealing it. It's revamped, shackles are gone, now we get house flipped.
Racism's still there, they're not even concealing it. They're not, they're doing it blatantly. Doing it blatantly. It's right there in your face.
And all us millionaires are the house niggas. I ain't the only ones naked, the urban outfitters. White people seeing us murdered, they even down with us. They saying let's make America great again. I'm curious, what time would you like to place us in? Were we degraded then? Did they enslave us then? Or is it ignorant for me to even say again? If it's civil war, then what are we civil for? If this is freedom to y'all, you better get us some more. Here you go. Guess what?
A guy there outside of a shop has obviously been looted and set on fire, saying justice for Mike Brown. That's my only qualm. I know you're protesting and whatnot for the rights of the black community, but some of these looters and rioters, not all of them, because some have been planted to cause riots and whatnot. Most of them were peaceful, but some people going through black communities, inciting it and looting fellow black communities. What's the sense in that? Because you're taking away from your community now as well. I don't get that, but there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? there is a lot going on. As I say, I think a lot of education needs to happen, because the riots and whatnot, I think, will only work for a while. There's still going to be corrupt individuals in the system that will keep letting systematic racism happen.
Keep on running, cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
And we're done watching and waiting while this invention called whiteness uses and abuses us, burying black people out of sight and out of mind while extracting our culture, our dollars, our entertainment like oil, black gold, ghettoizing and demeaning our creations, then stealing them, gentrifying our genius, and then trying us on like costumes before discarding our bodies like rinds of strange fruit. Fruit.
There is people, Joe Budden. Freedom, the freestyle. It does hit on a lot of topics and relates really badly in today's society. All I will say on it is I support the movement. I understand why you're doing it. I believe it could be done a lot differently, and people that say they're there for the black community, such as hip-hop artists that have got millions and platforms and whatnot, could be doing a lot more than they are. Because where are they now? Some of these black artists that promote drug use, promote gang violence, and this, that and the other, where's their voice now when it's needed? You know what I mean? So a lot more could be done. Education in schools and whatnot to bring light on the subject rather than trying to erase it from history. But there's Joe Budden, there's freedom. Sorry, it's took a month, but I'm back on the grind. I'll be hitting them heavy and fast. Come see me, subscribe. Peace out.
Excuse me, it's all about brum, 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 rev up your vibes and come. It's how we do the job and how it gets done. Brum, 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 brum.